So you're a new couple and you're trying to figure out your finances. Good luck. No, I'm kidding. It can be a source of tension and anger, but it doesn't have to be. I'm hoping by the end of this video, you'll have a better understanding of a few ways that you and your partner can come together and work on a budget that will work for the two of you without being the source of problems. My name is Jake Williams. I'm a life insurance specialist with Step Up Wealth Management. For more information on budgeting and financial planning and how all of that can work together, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit the notification bell. That way you're notified immediately anytime I upload new videos. So, the budget is the central piece of most financial plans, but you can't get one without putting in some work. And it can be a way where you and your partner can really start to argue really quickly if you don't see eye to eye and if you don't agree. But it doesn't have to be that way. A budget is data. A budget is looking at how you spend money and how you have spent money and using that information to plan for the future. They are simply facts. So, gather bills and receipts and checks and tax returns and anything that you have on financial information. Try to go back a year or more if you can. That way you can level out some variance that may be due to different seasons or whatever else. The more data you have, the more accurate picture you can paint. But gather all these information for the two of you, for both of you. If you've been living separately and then you're moving in together, then you're going to need to look at how you can combine the data for things like utilities. Where are you living? Are you living in one house versus the other, or an apartment, or whatever? You're going to have to look at the utilities for that specific place. But then also look at insurances and expenses and contributions to savings. Look at how often you guys go out to eat, where you go out to eat, how much you spend, all those kinds of things. Gather that data. This is just information. Then after you have that information, then you start to categorize it out, like I was just saying, with utilities and expenses and entertainment and food. Categorize them out and look for patterns. Look for things that maybe jump off the page that, hey, we do this a lot, or we seem to be spending a whole lot of money here, or maybe we could spend a little bit more here. According to some Department of Labor statistics from a couple of years ago, the average person is going to spend about 33% of their income on housing. You see personal is about 23%. That's insurances and retirement and self-care, education, entertainment. They lump all that into one big category. I may split that out into a couple others to be able to track some more things individually, but they lump it all together into one. That same study says an individual is going to spend about 17% of their income on transport, 13% on food, about 8% on medical coverage, 3% on clothing or services. I don't know what they include in services. They just say 3% for clothing and services, and then 3% for other. That is just an average. You don't have to use that as a guideline. You don't have to limit yourself to those things. That's just another piece of data for you to use as you are evaluating what you spend, how much you spend, and where you spend it. As you are gathering this data and categorizing it and looking for patterns, you have to be able to communicate and you have to be able to talk about differences without judgment. You need to be able to respect your differences. And I know this is a whole lot of the counseling and everything you've probably gone through before marriage, or you're going through now as you're planning for it, or maybe you will be going through if you're looking to get married. But communicate without judgment and respect differences. You are different people. You're going to have different habits, and you need to be able to discuss those different habits without anger, without tension. So, respect each other, communicate, don't judge, and be ready to compromise. All right? You may not be able to do everything that you did as a single individual. You may have to start prioritizing some things that you do as a couple over things that you did as an individual. You have got to be able to compromise. But if you can compromise, if you can communicate without judgment, you can respect your differences, you can use the data of a budget to build yourselves a strong financial foundation that will last you for years to come. If you've already done some budgeting, if you've already seen some places where you can get that kind of information, or if you have a way that you track out data for your budget, drop me a comment down below. I would love to hear what you guys are doing. I'd love to see some different alternatives to how you guys approach it. After this video, be sure to check out my video on the budget, which I call the key to unlocking a financial plan. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. But most importantly, if you want more information on how you and your partner can set up a budget or other things that you may need in your financial plan, there's a link in the description below where I have my masterclass where I do a much deeper dive into all of this. And then after that masterclass, you are invited to apply to become my client. Please check that out. Give it a look. I would love to see what I can do to help you. And remember, take care of your now, your future, and beyond.